Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. What's going on with y'all, man? Excuse me as I clear my throat. Well, the Knicks, we did what we thought they were going to do. They lost after having an 18-point lead. I guess it was about an 18-point lead or whatever it was. They got down 13. They got up 18, 20, whatever it was. And then obviously they could not sustain the good doings. And they lose this game to the Washington Wizards, as most expected they would do. The New York Knicks are, the Washington Wizards are a little bit more desperate than the New York Knicks at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. So it only makes sense that the Knicks would lose this one and not be able to pull this one out versus the Washington Wizards. Although, they tried to put up a little something. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks lost to the Washington Wizards in a game that we expected them to lose. But hey, let's look at the bright side. Frank Ntilikina. I like that. I like the bright side. But hey, let's get down and talk about this game, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys for being here with me. I hope you had a great day. And, we're going to try to make this an even better night as we break down the Knicks and the Wizards from Washington, D.C. No coronavirus could stop Frank Ntilikina tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get with it. That's the G. And we'll get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at the matchups tonight. And if I get a chance to break down some of the game through video or something like that, then I will. I don't trust what's going on with the NBA, though. They're cracking down on us showing a little bit of video, even though, it's considered fair use. But anyway, the Knicks had their biggest lead was 18 points tonight. The Knicks had an 18-point lead over the Washington Wizards, and they blew it, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Well, because the Knicks do Knick things. They do Knick things. The Washington Wizards had a 4-point lead. Listen, it swung. I didn't get to see the entire game, but I got to see what was happening and what went on. It swung. Wizards went up. Knicks went up. Then the Wizards went back up. Knicks tried to make a run at the end, but it was just a little bit too late. The Knicks got out-rebounded by one tonight. Only 36 rebounds for the Knicks tonight. And that's not a usual rebounding number for the New York Knicks. Usually the Knicks are somewhere, between 40 and 50 rebounds per game. Tonight, they only grabbed 36 rebounds. Now, they did shoot the ball well. That could be part of the reason. They shot the ball well defensively. Well, they couldn't get the stops that they needed. They let these guys go on a run. The Knicks only 36 rebounds tonight, 30 assists for the New York Knicks. It's a nice number, but listen, you're not playing a very good defensive team in the Washington Wizards. All right, but 30 assists for the New York Knicks, 10 steals, 3 blocks. They also had 18 turnovers. That will contribute to another team coming back when they're down 18. The Wizards had 37 rebounds. They had 23 assists tonight, 8 steals, 4 blocks, and 16 turnovers. The Knicks shot 51.9% from the field. Okay, they shot 51.9% from the field. They shot 38.1% from the three-point line and 74.2% from the free throw line. The Wizards tonight, they shot they were 35 for 74 from the field for 47.3%. They only took 74 field goals on the entire night. The difference in the game, the Knicks allowed them to shoot 40% from the three-point line. They made 14 of 35 three-pointers. The Knicks lost this game. And obviously, down the stretch of the game, they let the Washington Wizards go up about 13, 15 points or something like that. The Knicks lost the game by 7, 122 to 115. All right, and they were outscored from the three-point line by 6. I'm sorry, not by 6, by 6 three-point baskets. They were outscored from the three-point line by 18. The Knicks outscored them from 2 the Knicks made 42 field goals. The Wizards made 35 field goals. The Knicks only made 8 3-pointers. And then when you look at the free throw line, the Wizards, they scored 38 points from the free throw line. They were 38 of 45. That's another story of the game. 38 of 45. All right, look. They scored 18 more points than the Knicks from the three-point line. They scored 15 more points than the Knicks from the free throw line, and that'll do it to you a lot. That will definitely do it to you a lot. That'll happen. We'll see if the Knicks play again tomorrow night, right? They play in Atlanta tomorrow night. We'll see if they can rebound, but let's take a look at the box scores. Let's take a look at the box scores because for the first time in his career, ladies and gentlemen, Frank Ntilikina, get this now, for the first time in his career, Frank Ntilikina scored 20. I've been waiting on this for a while. I've been waiting for a while for Frank Ntilikina to score 20 points. He finally scored 20 points tonight versus the Washington Wizards. Let's take a look at the box scores, man. Mo Harkless for the Knicks, he had 4 points, 1 assist. Julius Randle, not really a good night for Julius Randle. He had 16 points. That's 5 for 11 from the field, 6 for 6 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds and 2 assists, 4 turnovers for Julius Randle. Taj Gibson had 10 points, 3 rebounds. R.J. Barrett shot 33% from the field. He was 5 for 15 from the field. He had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 turnovers. He also had 4 steals. Elfrid Payton. Listen, last night I talked about Elfrid Payton went out on Knicks Weekly, and if you haven't seen Knicks Weekly, make sure you get a chance to go check out Knicks Weekly. But last night I was talking about Elfrid Payton as the player of the week for the Knicks last week, and I said to Guillermo, and I said to Isaiah, now watch Elfrid Payton come out and have a bum game, and that's what he did tonight. He had 3 points, 4 assists tonight. All right, Bobby Portis and Frank Ntilikina, those guys were the stories of the night. And when the Knicks came back and took a lead, it was those guys who really powered them through and helped them come back to take the lead. Bobby Portis had 20 points. He was 9 for 15 from the field. He had 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Frank Ntilikina, he had 20 points. He was 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 5 from the three-point line. He had 10 assists to go along with it. 2 steals. Kevin Knox had no points. Mitchell Robinson had 10 points and 3 rebounds. Reggie Bullock had 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Wayne Ellington played 16 minutes. He had 6 points. Damian Dotson and Dennis Smith Jr. did not play. Okay? So there you have it. That's the New York Knicks. And then, of course, for the Washington Wizards, the New York Knicks had to contend with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal dropped a 40-burger on the Knicks tonight. Bradley Beal had 40 points, 7 assists. He also had 5 turnovers. Bradley Beal was 11 for 25 from the field. Obviously, he led the Washington Wizards. Then you got Shabazz Napier. Shabazz Napier had 21 points, 6 assists. He also had 4 turnovers. Thomas Bryant, finally back in the lineup for the Washington Wizards. He's going to make a difference for that team. He had 14 points and 10 rebounds. Rui Hachimura had 12 points. Jerome Robinson didn't do anything. Rui Hachimura, he had 12 points and 7 rebounds. Moritz Wagner, I always say Wagner, it's Wagner. Wagner had 10 points, 3 rebounds. Garrison Matthews, 5 points. Davis Bertans, he had 11 points and 3 assists. Troy Brown Jr., he had 9 points. Nobody else scored for the Washington Wizards. So that's the story of the game, my friends, on how the Knicks built an 18-point, went down 13, built an 18-point lead, then gave the lead back and gave the game back to the Washington Wizards on a night when Frank Ntilikina was, for the most part, the man, ladies and gentlemen. He was the man for the New York Knicks tonight, him and Bobby Portis. Frank Ntilikina and R.J. Barrett played the most minutes tonight. They both played 29 minutes. Hey, you want to see the young guys? You want to see the young guys do it? You got 2 young guys out there, and they play well together, man, R.J. Barrett and Frank Ntilikina. So there it is. Let's get to some of the guys that's in the chat, man. I didn't get a chance to get these guys in yet, but I'm going to get them in. Before I do that, I should just say peace to you guys. Thank you guys for stopping through. It's going to be a short show. It's only going to be about an hour because I got a ton of work I got to get done for a meeting that I have tomorrow or a presentation I got to give tomorrow. So I got to finish that up. But let me get to whoever is here in the chat. My man Light is in the chat. Get the Light. See what Light thinks about tonight's game. And then we'll talk about whatever we talk about. Light, what's going on with you, man?
Chilling, man. How you?
I'm good. Did you watch the game tonight?
Yeah, sadly. That was a rough one.
Yeah, you leave it to the Knicks, man, right? Go down 14 points, go up, then come back, go up 18, and then blow it.
Right. The Knicks did what the Knicks do.
But pieces of the game, let's talk about just different pieces of the game, right? Let's talk about Frank Ntilikina.
I'm proud of Frank tonight. Frank made me proud tonight. That's the Frank we've been wanting to see since forever. I mean, that's the Frank we thought we were getting when we drafted him as high as we did. So, that was a lot of fun for me to watch. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see the entire game. I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch it. But I'm definitely looking forward to, just watching what he's doing. Mike Miller said in an interview, I guess a practice interview after practice or whatever, that he's not worried about Frank Ntilikina or Kevin Knox, that he believes both of their offense is going to come. Frank Ntilikina, you've seen him the past few games since he's come back from that groin injury, just be more aggressive, right? Be more aggressive, shooting the ball more, just playing with more confidence. Whether or not he's making the shots, just playing with more. I mean, he's had more confidence the entire year than we've seen in the past anyway.
That's true. I mean, he just seemed more aggressive. It's all about just being aggressive. He looked to finish in places where he typically pulls up, and I think he's finding that teams are already playing off of him. So these little silky moves, he comes in there with the finger rolls, and he looked like he was supposed to be playing with Walt, the way he moves around the court. And he gets into these positions, but typically when he got there, he was looking to dish. Tonight, it seemed like he made it a decided effort to take it as far as he could get it, and if they give it to him, just take the opportunity. He scored those points very efficiently. I think he was like 6 for 9, something like that.
Yeah, I think he was 6 for 9 tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's extremely efficient to give you 20 points. He had a double-double tonight. You have to be optimistic as a Knicks fan when you see that out of him, because it's a glimpse of what we wanted. We know that it's in there, and he was doing it against stiff competition. Washington's backcourt is very good. There's some quick, shifty, crafty little guys over there, and then you got Bradley Beal. So they were up against it tonight, and Frank really showed out. And you got to see promise in that, and hope that the organization is taking note of that, because that's a guy that we need to be looking to mold and grow and cultivate. We've all kind of seen it.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing, I was talking about it last night, I think, when I did the Knicks Weekly, that the big thing back a few years ago in his first season, everyone was like, he needs to go to the G League. I didn't think he needed to go to the G League at the time, simply because he could defend his position, right? I feel like if you could defend your position in the NBA, the offensive side will come. As long as you're not, people just taking the ball from you every single time you got the ball. You know what I mean? The other things that come, but he could defend his position. With Kevin Knox, he has a hard time defending his position, so he needs that development. He needs to grow a little bit. That's why I'm in favor of him going to the G League, which is probably not going to happen this season, right? We're so close to the end. But Frank is.
I don't know. The G League or the NBA, I feel like it should all be the same for these guys at this point. Like, you're a professional basketball player. Your job now is to grow your craft. So there's really no reason for, whether it's I don't know. It just feels like to me Knox is there, but something's missing in the development, and that's within him. Whether he's in the NBA or the G League, he's gonna have to find that. You know.
Yeah. There's always been questions about, does he have the fire, right? And
Yeah, his motor, as they
right,
call
his
it.
motor, right? And so I guess you can question and I'm not trying to base anything off of this being his sophomore year, right? Different players go through different steps and stages of development. He could come back next year and look like a totally different player. Who knows,
Mm-hmm.
right? But do you think that when it comes to him training, he lacks the fire? Like, I had my first AAU practice tonight of the season, and it was a rough practice for the girls. I do it, I do it every year. I start off the first month is like really crazy. It's really hell for them, I would not want to go through the practice that I put them through.
Yeah.
I mean,
come out with an injury.
I killed them. I said last night that I was trying to make a couple girls throw up. I didn't succeed. They didn't throw up. They came close. A couple of them had to sit out because they were nauseous, but they didn't throw up. Right.
All right, son, we ain't trying to hurt nobody now.
Right. But, there was one player there that, she's not going to be a basketball player because every other player, they fought through it. I mean, if you're feeling nauseous, that's one thing, right? And basically, one of the girls, she didn't eat before practice. So, she does this all the time. It's like she comes to practice and I'm like, did you eat? No. Why? I didn't know what to eat. Like, what you mean? I give them menus of what to eat before and after practice. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We can get into that. But
wow, you got the diet laid out too, man.
yeah, man. It's this thing. It's called an athlete's plate, and it tells you if you did a light workout, this is what you eat. A medium workout, this is what you eat. A hard workout, this is what you eat. What you eat before practice, after practice, before games. It's a whole thing. It's good. It's really good.
Are they taking into, like, how are they calculating how many calories each person would need?
So on the plate, I mean, obviously you have to, like, the portions, each person has to look at their weight and those things to know the portions, but they know the type of foods, that's going to give them the proper protein so that the muscles can heal, the proper energy before games, especially when we go on a tournament, the foods that's going to help them to perform, optimally, at their highest. So, I give them all, I give them all those things in a binder, so that they're ready to go. But for whatever reason, she never eats. I don't know, but it was one girl there though. Everybody else, they'll fight through the drills. They'll be hurting. There was one girl there, she's kind of young, first time in the practice, and she was about to start crying, but she fought through it anyway. But there's one girl, she just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And she just didn't have that fire. And I'm saying to myself, she's not going to make it as a basketball player because you cannot have skill and need to develop, but you got to have the desire to get better, the desire. And I don't know. It's hard for me to say whether or not he has that desire. He may have that desire. And, we just don't see it because we're not in practice or nothing like that. What do you think? Do you think he has that desire? Not even just the motor, but the desire to get better.
I think watching him play, you see a guy who's trying. I feel like desire is measured in effort. And I see Knox give good effort. If a lot of people like to rag on Knox, but I see him trying. The problem I have with Knox is his awareness is so low, and that's where all of his problems stem from. If you watch Knox, he comes down the court just staring ahead of him. It's like he's looking at where he's trying to get to with no spatial awareness of where the ball's coming from. Where is it at? Do I have an advantage? Maybe if I speed up right here, I can get to a clean lane. He's not doing any of that. It's almost like the system has got him too trained. He's not solving problems on the fly. He's following the recipe so strong that he's unaware of other things, just trying to hit the dance steps is what it looks like.
Right.
If you watch him go down the court, he'll have a clean lane if he would just cut in on the transition cut and get that ball, but he's not looking. He's staring down at the ground. He's not aggressively moving up the court, and those are the things he's missing. And it goes on both ends of the court. But I don't think it's a matter of effort. I think it's a matter of awareness and the ability to think on the fly. He always seems kind of lost, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, that he definitely does, right? He's sometimes there are nights when he looks like he's fully engaged and understands and sees, and I guess young players go through that, right? You have some nights when they look like, bam, everything's hitting, everything's clicking, and then other nights when it's just not. You know what I mean? And he has a few nights where it looks like he's on it defensively. He's playing hard. I think he always tries to play hard, like you said, but he's on it defensively. His feet are moving well. He's contesting shots well. Like the other night, he had 2 blocks. Because he was moving. He was moving well. He still lost his man a couple of times backdoor, but he was moving well. And maybe that's just his. Maybe that's just his path, the path that he's going to have to take. I know, reading an article, his father said this year, the thing for Kevin Knox was to focus on his defense, right? They didn't worry about the offense. It was to focus on his defense.
Right.
So, maybe that's something that's somewhere in there. I don't know.
It's showing up though, because I think I heard them say he's like second or third on the team in total blocks.
Yeah.
So say what you want. That's what I mean. I feel like season 1 was all about his offense. He was shooting. That's why his percentages were so low. He was being used. He had a high usage percentage when he was on the court. Kind of like what's happening with RJ. The ball touches RJ. That you could tell they're making an effort to try to get RJ going at times. But that's another subject. When it comes to Knox, he had that the first year. Now this year, it makes sense that the offense would trail off, especially if he's been focusing on training on defense. Although it seems contradictory, because at the beginning of the season, Knox was talking about his 3-pointer and how much he was trying to focus on becoming an outside shooter.
Exactly.
So I don't know which way they were doing. Maybe they touched on both, and the last thing they were working on was threes, and that's why that was, whatever. But he had this, I don't even remember where I'm at now. This guy, so many things with Knox. Am I still here? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm still there.
I don't see how Knox how he's not further along, but it seems like it comes right back down to getting the right people to train him and to show him which way to go with his game. He needs a decided approach, and the Knicks have been lacking that, and I think that's part of why his growth is so stunted. I feel like he's a good kid who would listen to you to a fault. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna run through the brick wall even after he learns he can't get through it. So you gotta give that the right direction, and I feel like the Knicks haven't done that.
Yeah. Now, and that's one thing you said, right? He's a good kid that, like you said, will run through a brick wall through you. He'll do what you want and listen to what you said to a fault. You know what I mean? And yep, I agree with you 100%. I had a kid like that, man, that I coached, and he listened to me so much that there was one time he just shouldn't have listened to me. Really, I mean, he's a good kid. He was the best player on our team, and we also had a 6'8" guy on the team that we were playing, that we were in the tournament, and I think we were down 1, right? And I always played off those 2 guys. So I told him, I said, listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to get it to I don't want to say his name. It's still kind of young. I want you to get it to him in the post, right? And then I want you to slip past your player, and then and then the guy at the ball in the post, his job was to find him, right? And so he did it. He cut past his player, and he was open, but the guy didn't pass it to him. And he went up for the shot, and he missed the layup. He had the layup. He missed the layup, but the guy that had the ball, he was our guy, and we should have just cleared it out and let him go one-on-one because he could have beat his man just about any time. You know what I'm saying? But, he was like, and, we talked afterwards. I was like, you know what? I should have just let you go. He was like, hey, you called it. I was going to listen to what you said. You know what I mean? But that was one time where he probably should have just got the ball and said, hey, clear out. I'm going for it.
Right.
On the floor.
And the improvisation doesn't come until you gain confidence in what you're doing and what's happening around you. And I feel like he doesn't have that because his placement. And that's where I say we really need to nail down who we're keeping, what we're doing, and our plan moving forward. We have never touched on that. And that's why these guys are faltering because they've never been given a position.
Yep. No roles. They have no roles. Yeah. Nate, I'm going to unmute you, man, since it's only it's just us three here so we can all kind of talk together. Back to Frank Ntilikina. Do you think Frank right now is ready to break out?
I hope so, man. I mean, he's 21 years old. Frank is like a tease, man. He there's times where he looks like he's breaking out, and then there's times where he kind of fades away. I hope so, man. I mean, the kid plays hard. I mean, I really believe that this kid wants to be good. It's just that I think it's in his head. I think his confidence is shaken a lot of times. And I mean, to be fair, man, he's had 3 coaches. He's done different systems. A lot of people don't believe in him.
Has it only been 3 coaches?
Oh, maybe he has.
Who was his first coach? Who was his first coach?
Okay, maybe two.
No, I think he's had more than 3.
Yeah, Miller
I think he's had more than 3. Who was his first coach?
Wasn't it Hornacek? It was Hornacek.
It wasn't Derek Fisher, right? It was Hornacek was his first coach,
it was Hornacek,
right?
No, it was Hornacek.
It was Hornacek,
Fizdale, and Miller. So he's had 3 coaches.
Hornacek, Fizdale, and Miller. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And he's probably going to be on his way to his 4th coach. It's crazy.
I mean, the guy plays hard, man. I mean, I rarely ever see him, get too high, get too low. I mean, he did show emotion yesterday and got a technical, so that was kind of good to see. I mean,
that was weak.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, but it's good to see Frank show that emotion, man. I mean, like a lot of people say, "Oh, Frank's too quiet or he's too passive." He's got it in him. I think he does. It's just, I think it's just gonna be the right coach, man. The right coach to believe in him and to kind of bring out more of that confidence in himself. I mean, I like Frank, man. I'm rooting for the kid. I mean, whether he stays here with us or he goes somewhere else, I mean, he's a player, man. He just got the right mentality. He doesn't talk a lot. He just goes out and plays and he does his thing.
You got to think about the fact that we should be trying to build, and Frank is a great guy to have around to build with. He's not someone that's going to garner so much attention that another team's going to come swipe him from you. But he's so skilled that he gives you so much. He's a perfect bench guy. He's a perfect bench guy, and we got to start investing in those kind of guys. That workman that everybody loves. You know what I'm saying? We need that guy. Frank has potential to be that guy.
He can do a lot.
Yeah.
I just don't know if this regime has the patience anymore.
All right, so looking at, obviously tonight he was 6 for 9 from the field. He was 3 for 5 from the 3-point line. Can you see Frank averaging 15 points a game in the future, sometime in the future, being a 15-point per game, 7 assist guy?
I mean, it's just his jump shot. He just got to be more confident with his jump shot, be more aggressive. If anything, the one thing I've seen from Frank this year that I haven't seen in the past is his aggressiveness. To get to the lane, to make those layups. I mean, you see some of those layups he made, man? It was like, wow, man. It was like, there you go, Frank. I mean, hey, give him those opportunities.
But that's a matter of comfort. The problem is Frank has never, since he's gotten to the Knicks, been given the opportunity to get comfortable, be it by his own doing because of injury or be it by coach decision. He stays with his opportunities being given in a sporadic and an erratic manner. So all I see is him getting comfortable because he's getting his minutes in solid chunks that he can do something with. He can make mistakes and learn from and come back right back to it. So we need to commit to these guys.
He's one of those players too that in the plus and minus category, he's probably rarely ever in the minus category because he's either playing really good defense or he's, assisting on the ball or he's making points. Like, he's probably rarely ever in the minus category. I mean, because he brings something to the table every time.
Yeah.
We'd love to see him put it all together, but hey, man, I mean, Sim, you said one time if he could be Rondo or Marcus Smart, dude, or I think it's Marcus Smart. If he could be Marcus Smart, man, I'm cool with that.
Nah, man, he got to be Frank Ntilikina, man.
Well, yeah, but I'm
he's
just saying,
different than them dudes.
But if he plays like Marcus Smart, man, I'm cool with that. I mean,
if Frank can just get comfortable with being aggressive, he was the MVP of his team that he came from in France. This guy was a go-to guy not that many years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
he's got bloomer, that in there. He's a late bloomer.
It ain't a matter. It's a matter of giving how many draft picks that were drafted as high as Frank on a team as bad as ours at the point guard position is not given heavy minutes. You draft a point guard that high in the draft and you don't gift him his heavy minutes. Of all of our rookies, I feel like he's the only one who didn't get that high dose of minutes that Knox received his first year.
Didn't have the
that Barrett's getting
with the coaches
year.
And all that and the minutes. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
but that's the thing.
We bench him.
We see it. This coaching change has not changed how these players are being rotated in and out. We thought Mike Miller was going to introduce Trier back into the lineup and do some other things. And what has it done? So clearly the coach in charge has no control over how these guys are getting their minutes. So to me, the layoff for Frank didn't make any sense.
But also, too, I think it's the depth, man. I mean, the Knicks just have way too many point guards on this team. And, when one playing good, the other one's not playing good, and just too much uncertainty at that position, and not the right coaching either. So it's a combination of a lot.
All right, so of course in the chat, you always got your naysayers. 12 asked you, Nate, how is Frank Ntilikina a late bloomer at 21? Basically saying he's still young. Germany. I mean, basically saying he's still young. He's 21 years old. He's still very young. So, he's not a late bloomer.
Bro, he can barely drink, man. I mean, I still think he's learning the American game, man. I mean, he came from Germany raw, man. I mean, if anybody thought he was going to be this big-time player. Oh, I'm sorry.
Came from France.
Yeah, he came from France, and anybody thought he was going to be like this big-time scorer. I mean, you didn't watch the video of him. I watched the video of him, and I said, this guy could be a good passer, and he looks like a good defender. I never thought in the world that he was going to be able to be a scorer. He looked too slow, and he looked kind of, his shot was very
I never thought he was slow. I always disagree with everybody with that. Everybody looked because he didn't always put the Jets on. But, when you watch games, there are times when he can turn on the Jets. He just doesn't do it all the time.
He's got some burst, for sure.
Right? There are times when he can get the ball and he can go. And you say, oh, I didn't know he had that. Now, he doesn't have the – he's not explosive.
He's faster than R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, he's faster than R.J.
He's playing
Barrett.
with a weight vest, man.
R.J. Barrett is pretty slow.
For real. He's faster than R.J. Barrett.
You remember the ankle weights? You wear the ankle weights to strengthen your calves.
Right.
The sandbags with the Velcro.
Right.
It look like he playing in them joints.
Well, Harden ain't fast either, man. So,
Nah, I mean, you don't have to.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you don't have to be fast to be effective.
Steph Curry ain't super fast either.
Who?
You don't have to be fast. It's just, there were so many people back in the day that would always complain. He's not fast. He's not fast. He's not fast. But let's go ahead. Let's talk about, since we're talking about that, let's talk about R.J. Barrett for a minute.
This dude.
So he's been, since Marcus Morris is gone, he was out for a while. Now he's back. He's had the ball in his hands a lot, right? Which is good. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying he's how do you feel he's doing right now with having the ball in his hands as much as he does?
Well, I mean, I trust him with the ball more than I trust some of the other players.
Yeah, tonight he was.
I'm not impressed.
Okay. I know.
If I'm being honest,
I mean, there are nights when. mean, there's going to be up and down nights, of course. The more you put the ball in his hands, it's going to be up and down nights. Tonight, he was, 33% from the field?
Yep.
5 turnovers.
But he did other things too. He rebounded, he did some assists.
Yeah. I'm not complaining about him. I'm just looking for your assessment. He's had the ball. His the possessions that he's had the ball in his hands moved up significantly. So I'm just
Well,
thinking.
man, I mean, once
how do you think he's doing with it?
Once we traded Marcus Morris away, I think fans want to see the ball in RJ's hands more than Randall's, because everybody knows what Randall's going to do. He's going to turn into a double team, turn the ball over,
or
get into the post and has nowhere to throw the ball to. Yeah, I mean,
right.
I'd rather have the ball in RJ Barrett's hands, man. I mean, he plays well. He plays well with the ball in his hands. He just got to shoot better, man. That's just the reality. That's the only thing in this game that he really's got to get better at, is shoot the ball better.
Well, I mean, it's going to take some time.
He got way more than that to work on.
Yeah, he got a lot.
He's got more than that to work on. He need to work on moving his feet on defense.
That's the big one. That's the big one.
He need to learn when to throw his passes. He needs to understand when it's his time to take it and when it's time to keep the ball moving. He needs to.
He doesn't take a lot of bad shots. I don't.
He doesn't. He doesn't really take bad shots.
He's just a bad shot. He just has a bad shot. That's just the reality.
No. Sometimes RJ takes bad shots. RJ will take the ball and try to force it into a triple team just as quick as Julius Randle will.
Hmm.
He does the same. When he gets his opportunity, he'll run into a wall too, and just take it when he could have passed it.
But
I won't say he does it as often.
That in a lot of games. Yeah.
What'd you say, Nate?
He does it at least once or twice every game.
Yeah, he does.
It's okay. It's the nature of being showing that you got that thing. You're not gonna back down from nothing. I'm gonna go right in here and but this is not smart basketball.
No, he's a rookie. He'll learn.
He'll get his time.
Definitely, he's a rookie. He'll learn.
Yeah, you just said something.
But the one big thing about him is he's got to become a better shooter.
That's going to come. That's going to come. But the mental part of the game, he's got to learn some things. Like we're saying, just understanding where to go with the, when to take the ball over, when to pass it. Because I see him sometimes try to throw some of those passes that you might throw when you're out just playing with your boys, or if you're on a college level, and he's gonna think he can make that pass. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He'll whip it down there one handed.
Good dimes to Mitch Robinson, man. So take it away, man.
Listen, he does. He's talented. I'm just
he need to move to the small forward.
And still got a lot to learn.
That's where he need to be. He need to be the small forward.
I agree. He needs to be a small forward.
Yeah,
that's where he's
needs to be the power forward. He needs to be the small forward. Mitch needs to be the center. That needs to be the lineup.
Who plays the two?
Let me get Isaiah in there. Isaiah,
pick one.
Can you hear me?
We got like 500 shooting guards. Which one you want?
Right.
Just put one in. It doesn't matter. Put Trier in. Start Trier.
Isaiah, what's going on, man? What's up, man?
Nothing much. Just left the gym, man, on my way home.
Oh, snap.
At the gym.
I'm trying to get ready for this cruise, man,
This cruise? Nah, he's trying to. Hey, listen.
You getting on a boat?
Yeah.
A boat?
Listen, he's planning on engaging to his lady on that boat. He's trying to get right, make sure she don't say no.
She ain't know before, she know now. She ain't know before, she know now. Now you got to, bro.
Yeah, now you got to.
About RJ, bro? Huh?
Now you got to, because I'm pretty sure she probably caught the show. Now you got to.
Man.
Boy.
Yeah, you probably right about that. She probably do be watching these damn shows, looking at me acting like a damn fool.
Yup. Now she probably saying like, I ain't gonna say nothing to Isaiah. I'm gonna act like I didn't see the show, but I'm waiting for that.
Crazy, man.
Getting ready for the ring. Yeah, make sure it's even.
But we're talking about RJ with the ball in his hand, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm pro RJ with the ball in his hands. You know what? I mean, he's a rookie, Sim. I mean, people are critiquing him like, he gotta learn how to, do that's coming. That's gonna come. That's not, that's not gonna come for RJ. him not learning where to put the ball, when to take over the game, when to pass it to the right player. RJ's that type of player where he learns and he gets better, you know. So I'm not really worried about that part of the game. And yeah, he's gonna take bad shots. You're gonna, when you're like a top college player, you're gonna still believe you could do certain things in college. That happens to everybody. So I'm not. These are the things I'd rather, you know, Sim, I'd rather have these issues than like his shooting mechanics or like his shooting, you know, or like his just like stuff like that. That's really a bigger issue. Pretty much all RJ stuff is fixable. We hope.
Right.
You know,
No,
but
fixable, you're right.
I agree with you.
You know, it's his stuff, man. He'll be fine, man. If the kid projects how we think he is and we see the mentality that he has, RJ would be fine, man. I like seeing RJ with the ball. I do. I told you before, Sim. I think the best RJ we're gonna get one day is gonna be a 27, 7 and 7 kind of guy. That's what I think RJ's gonna be.
Let me ask you this though, right? Because I always hear people. I hear two different things from Knicks fans, especially in this chat here. I hear that we got to have the type of offense where the ball is moving and everyone's touching it and it's going. And then I hear put the ball in RJ's hands.
Well, here's the thing, Sam. I think what Knicks fans really want, because I understand that you think it's divided. I don't think it's divided. I think it's more of a, yes, we're gonna have the Knicks. A lot of Knicks fans want an offense that, you know, people touch the ball and everything. But you know, if we think RJ's gonna be that guy, you know, sometimes, Sim, it just comes down to, give me the damn ball and let me do what I do.
It does. But there's specific times when it comes down to that, right? When whatever you're trying to do as a team doesn't work, then, you know, you might say, all right, we need this guy to get us a couple buckets to get us on the road. You know,
at this point, we don't have a system or anything, so we're just playing street ball basically out there.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much Mike Miller's really done. But you know, in situations like that, or teams going on a 15-0 run, and you need RJ, like, yo, we need you to get us a bucket, you know, to stop this run. We need you to get us a bucket to stop the bleeding. You know, times like that. Or
he kind of could do that. He's not scared to do that.
He's not scared to do that. That's
a big thing for somebody who's only 19 years old. You want that kid.
Nah, I agree. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about, you know. Some people say they want the ball in RJ's hands. Like, give him the ball.
What are the
some
other
people,
options? How about
some
that?
people want the ball to be moving.
Give it to Julius and let him turn it over. Well,
no, you gotta listen to what I'm saying. All right. Right? What I'm saying is, some people want the ball to be moving. Some people want to try to feature RJ.
Yeah.
Right? Do we want to feature RJ? I mean, obviously we're the fans, so we have no say in what the Knicks are going to do. But how is going to be the best way to use him? Is the best way to use him to feature him and make him like the LeBron James of the team, right? Because LeBron James has the ball. Well, I haven't watched the Lakers that much, but before, like, his usage rate was off the charts, right? Are you looking for that, or are you looking for, you know, certain situations when he gets to that level, and maybe you start grooming him for that level now, right? But certain situations, you know, the ball is going to RJ. You know what I'm saying?
If we don't have a point guard, man, that can facilitate the offense, then I'd rather have it in RJ Barrett's hands and let him go for it. Be that point forward.
Yeah, go ahead, Isaiah.
So before I say this, I'm not saying he's LeBron James. Let me be clear when I say this. The way I see RJ is LeBron during the Heat years. And I'm not saying he's LeBron, but I want RJ to play that kind of role where he was off the ball but still can be on the ball. Like from 2010 to like 2014 with LeBron, I loved it because he was off the ball, he was moving without the ball, and he was dominant because then he grabbed the ball. So that's
was more of a
to me
shooter
at RJ's highest. And I'm not saying he's going to be LeBron James, but I want him to be played in that role of when LeBron was on the Heat. That's what I'm looking for RJ one day.
Okay.
Hopefully.
All right.
He
Well,
can be
we'll
that
see
point
if that
forward.
works out
He
that
really
way.
can.
We'll see
And
if
I'm
it
not
works
saying he's
out that way.
LeBron James, so don't try to kill me by saying he's going to be no. Didn't say that.
Yeah. So, what do y'all think about this? You know, the Knicks were supposed to have a celebration against the Warriors, right? Well, apparently, they've scrapped that celebration due to the due to the coronavirus. All right, so this is the article that came out today. It says the Knicks are postponing the 50th anniversary celebration of the 69-70 championship team on March 21st because of the coronavirus. Team officials have started to reach out to the Knicks legends of their first title team to inform them of the cancellation. According to sources, some players expressed concern to the organization about flying amid the crisis. According to the CDC, elderly, and of course everyone that's going to would be at that event would be elderly, right? Elderly are considered most vulnerable to the virus, and flying is also deemed a risk of attracting germs. All of the players on the 1969-70 team are over 70 years old. The Knicks plan to honor the living members of the team during a halftime ceremony of their game versus the Warriors.
So they're still gonna
got their own issues.
Do like a video montage or something.
I mean, that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice to maybe do a video montage or do something like that. You know, just to still honor them. You know what I mean? Even though they might not be there.
I mean, it's the least you could do, right? String together some video, do a live show, have the announcer talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Maybe get
man.
two star players from both teams to say something on behalf of the team. You know, Steph can come out the half court, say something. RJ could say something, or Julius. I don't know who we pick. Misfit kids.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's all precautionary. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, starting tonight, you know, Major League Baseball, hockey, basketball, NFL, everybody, they put out a letter stating that, and it was a combined letter, all of them together, that the media was no longer going to be able to go into the locker rooms, at least for the foreseeable future. And you know, there'd be a dedicated area
during a press conference.
Yeah, there'd be a dedicated area for the, you know, for the press. And I guess they've put out to the players, the NBA has put out to the players to prepare themselves to play in empty arenas. I don't know if they're going to televise those games, but if that happens, that's going to be wild.
Yeah.
You know, so they would still play the games, but the arenas would be empty, no fans, whatever. The way things are going with this whole coronavirus thing, I could see it happening.
Oh, yeah. They're talking about March Madness, about spending March Madness possibly.
Right. It's crazy. I'm getting concerned. I'm thinking, you know, some of my AAU tournaments are probably going to be suspended. You know, over this whole thing.
Kind of big events, man. I know in Texas here, I mean, we've got like they cancel South by Southwest. I don't know if you ever heard about that,
right.
But that's like the biggest music festival in Austin.
Right.
And they canceled it, you know, and they're probably going to cancel Fiesta in San Antonio, which is one of the biggest events too. So, yeah, they're being more precautionary. And you know why? Is because their insurance.
Go ahead, Nate. What'd you say?
No, I said you know why these events are going to be canceled is because none of these insurance policies cover for infectious diseases, and so no one's going to put that kind of risk on possibly somebody catch something at these events and then they try to get sued. Because I'm an insurance agent, and most policies do not cover for infectious diseses, especially someone they don't have a cure for. So, I can see that happening very, very quickly.
I mean that, and they got billions of dollars running around there down on that court, and
exactly.
You don't want none of them to get that.
Exactly, and it's probably, you know, they've stopped the NBA players from you know, shaking hands with fans, taking pictures and all that stuff. You know, at least for the time being. You know, based on everything that's going on, it's just a matter of time before some professional athletes comes down with it. Now, if you're a professional athlete, they should be able to get over it, right? You would think that a professional athlete should be young enough, healthy enough that they can get over it. They'll be down for a couple of weeks, but you never know when a player in the NBA has some kind of respiratory issue. Yeah. That could be.
Steph has got the flu right now, they said on TV.
It's crazy.
They said he's supposed to play on Thursday.
Yeah, so
Steph?
be all right. Steph
Curry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They said it's not coronavirus, it's just a flu.
Right.
They said that out the gate.
Right.
And then we're going to shake his hand on Thursday.
Yeah, that's so.
They foot shaking.
So see, I watched, just last thing on this coronavirus, man. I watched a movie called Contagion.
Oh, you saw that? Oh, man, that freaked the hell out of me.
That came out in 2011, though, right? Came out in 2011. But everything about that movie is what's happening right now. All the way.
Say that,
so basically, right?
See, everybody about
a lady, she goes to China, and she comes back she comes back with a virus. Okay,
it's caused by a bat too.
Right, exactly. She comes back with a virus. She's in contact with different people while she's in China, and they go off to their countries and they infect their countries, right? Now, this virus, what was it? I forgot what the incubation period was, but like it killed you, right? It had a 100% mortality. It killed you, right? And so the whole, they had the whole thing going on with basically what we're seeing going on today in the news. All of that was going. I mean, even the words that they were using, I'm like, yo, they were just talking about this on the news. The same exact words, a novel virus and this. Now I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then at the end, because they didn't know where it came from.
On this chat, everybody's gonna watch that movie now.
Yeah.
Look, I know Guillermo somewhere like, yes,
exactly.
Come, Sim.
Right.
Join me.
Right. But they didn't know where it came from. Finally, they found a vaccine and they got everybody vaccinated or whatever. But they didn't know where it came from. Yeah. At the end, what they showed is that over in China, or wherever she was, someone cut down a tree. And when the tree went down, the bats flew out of the tree. One of the bats,
out of the bat's mouth.
One of the bats found some bananas, right, and ate a piece of the banana. And while it was flying, a piece of the banana fell into like a pig farm, right? One of the baby pigs picked up that piece of banana. That baby pig ended up, was slaughtered, and it ended up being at the casino where the lady was, right?
The chef
and
was making
the cook.
Pig.
The chef, was cooking up the pig, making whatever they was making, and the lady asked to get a picture with the chef. I don't know if the chef washed his hands. They didn't show if the chef washed his hands.
No, I think he just dusted off on his thing.
Yeah, it looked like he just dusted, wiped his hands off on his apron, and then went out and took a picture with her, right? And she shook his hand and all of that. She shook his hand, and then she went to play blackjack and do whatever, and then she shook other people's hands, and she drank her drink, and the waiter cleaned up her glass, and all these people caught the virus, and that's how it started. And I looked at it, I was like, yo, that's too close to what's happening right now. Too close. That's crazy.
I saw that movie before it happened.
I'm not ready to be in a city and have something get quarantined. I'm trying to wrap my mind around quarantining a whole city. Like, what does that look like? What does that feel like? It looks like when they show it on TV, it looks like martial law. They're smoking out the streets. It looks crazy.
Yeah, man. That is crazy. Looks real crazy.
Upstate New York, I think there's they're trying to quarantine an area. I think they were talking about.
I need to call my sister.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. Just hope everybody is safe. Keep your hands clean. Make sure you wash your hands as much as you can. Don't touch your face a whole lot. Do everything that you can, man. If you can check the movie out, it's called Contagion. Check it out. It's basically when you watch Contagion, you'll be like, damn, this is us right now. We're in the middle of this movie. Yeah, big shout out to City for real. Thank you for the super chat. He said they better scrap that ceremony. All those old timers might get sick. He said it's a good move. Shout out to everyone watching the best Knicks show on TV. I appreciate that, City. You know, it's crazy, man. I don't know.
Talk about everything. Coronavirus, Knicks.
Crazy. It's crazy. But hey, man, I'm gonna get out of here because I got a lot of work, man, that I gotta get done for the night. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get out of here and get ready for this presentation tomorrow. I gotta do a presentation in front of a bunch of legislators. So I gotta be ready and be prepared for that. So if y'all want to just give us a couple last words, man, before we get out of here.
Peace to the chat. Thanks for having us. You'll send this platform. You do your thing. Appreciate everything you put into it, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate you coming on.
What do you say? We will be back.
Right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
There will be another show.
Appreciate it. Nate?
Peace.
Yeah, man. Season's almost over. I think we got 19 games left. So
we got like 17 games left, man.
17 games left. Man, I want to see some of the young guys play, man. I want to see Wotan or Iggy play. I mean, God,
Wotan's not playing. Wotan had surgery. He's not playing.
Oh, that's right. He did. That's right. What about Iggy, man? I want to see Iggy play. Dang it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Iggy's gonna come up, man. It doesn't look like he's gonna come up and play right now. You know.
Hey, did you see Allen Houston at the game with Leon Rose and Perry?
Nah.
Yeah, they showed a little excerpt during the game. It was Leon Rose, it was Perry, and Allen Houston. So maybe Allen Houston's coming up, man.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I would not, and I said it before, and everybody was like, "Nah, Sam, Scott Perry is gone." Don't be shocked if Scott Perry sticks around in some shape or, some shape, some form, some fashion. Some form of fashion, whatever words I'm trying to get out. I don't know, but don't be surprised if he sticks around.
You think he's gonna be gone after season's over?
What'd you say?
You think he's gonna be demoted from GM?
I don't know. We'll see, man. I mean, listen, him and Leon Rose, they've worked together in the past. They seem that they have a good relationship, from what I understand and what I've read. They have a good relationship. Maybe Leon Rose is just like, we just need to change altogether. So, but if Leon Rose looks at him and says, not looks at him, but, is around him and says, you know what, I can use Scott Perry to help me, be organized and run the show and this and that and this and that and the other thing. You never know. So, I'm just saying, everyone's just saying automatically was like Scott Perry's out of here. I don't think he's automatically out of there because I think he's got respect in the organization and respect around the league.
I agree. I mean, when they got rid of Mills, I thought if they wanted Perry gone, they would have got rid of Perry. Got rid of both and started fresh. So,
well, they need somebody to run it while somebody had to run it. So I don't know. But anyway, Isaiah, hit us with some last words, man. I'm about to be out of here.
Yeah, man. I mean, hopefully, praying for everybody to stay safe. This is to me like the swine flu, Sam. There's always something every year with this kind of stuff, man.
It is, but when is the last time? When is the last time that there's been people in cities quarantined? In Italy, like 16 million people were quarantined.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. I don't know what's going on, but Gimbo would say the Matrix is about to explode. Gimbo would say something like that,
right?
Shout out to Guillermo. But yeah, man, Frank had a good game tonight. 20-10. I loved it. Yeah, man, we got a back-to-back tomorrow, so hopefully we play better, man. Yeah, everybody be safe. Have a good night, Sim. You the man. I'll be rocking. Oh, Sim, man, listen, man, my girl's been feeling down. I'm gonna surprise her and her mother with a dinner tomorrow. I'm cooking for her mother.
Okay. That's what's up. Tomorrow. Do what you do, no doubt. Just make sure wherever you buy the food from, it's safe. All right.
Well, I'm cooking it. Oh yeah. You're right.
Just make sure where you buy the food from, it's safe. Just be careful with that, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Just be careful.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Just be careful. That's the last. You healthy. Your girlfriend is healthy, so But it affects older people, so that's the people we gotta watch out for. You don't want to bring it home and then give it to someone who's older, and they can't deal with. Like, I'm telling my mother already has respiratory issues. I'm like, just stay in the house. I'll go get whatever you need. Stay in the house. Don't do nothing. Don't go nowhere. So, I don't know. You know what Guillermo would say?
Yeah, I know what
Guillermo would say that they trying to get rid of all the old people so that we have Social Security going forward.
I know that. He would.
That's probably what he's thinking right now. He just don't want to say it. That's probably what Guillermo's thinking. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me tell
They're trying to get rid of all the old people so that we still have Social Security going forward.
Hey, Sim, you know what Guillermo's at right now?
Basketball game.
He jumping on the rooftops with the Morpheus coat on with the glasses. He throwing red pills at everybody, talking about, yo, you got to wake up, get in the Matrix.
He's on the chat right now. He's listening. He's listening to us. He's on the chat right now. But anyway, I gotta go, man. I gotta get up out of here. All right.
All right, sir.
All right, man. Later. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for being here with me. All right. Be safe. Please be safe out there. Make sure your family and friends and your family and friends and all the seniors in your household or that you're related to or that are safe, because it's serious, man. So please be safe. And I will catch you guys tomorrow night after the game. All right? Peace.